Welcome back, and of course we want to get another opinion now on the controversial issue of the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt Refinery. I'm now being joined on the program by Bala Zaka, who is an energy expert and also a chartered accountant. Thank you very much, Mr. Zaka, for joining us on the program. What's your take on the plan now to rehabilitate the Port Harcourt Refinery? It's costing us $1.5 billion.
It is an excellent plan. It is an excellent initiative. In fact, for the first time this year, I am impressed. I am happy that the Nigerian economic managers and leaders have had a rethink and decided to come back from the economic prodigalism that we have embarked on. Because for a very long time, we were being misled by people I can best describe as intellectual economic vampires and betrayers. It's very clear and simple. We have always said it. Nairanization of the downstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas is what will bring us out of the woods. And the concept is straightforward. Get the crude oil from the wellheads or Christmas tree within Nigeria in Naira. Move them to the respective Nigerian refineries, whether using trucks, wagons, or trains or pipelines in Naira. Refine them in Naira. Distribute them in Naira. Gain your Naira and free yourself from exchange rate differentials and pressures.
But what would you say?
We said that before now.
Sorry to interject now. What would you say about those who have said, look, this is more like wasting money that we've done rehabilitation in the past, it didn't work, and that why not sell the refineries? Why not privatize them?
The people, you see, when you're talking to people who use technical terms that I'm sorry to say they don't understand, they will only lead the economy and grind the economy into the valley. I said it before, years back we've been talking about this. Deregulation will not save the downstream sector of Nigerian oil and gas industry. And apart from that, even the deregulation, if you look at it very well, it was an import-focused deregulation, meaning that all that will happen is we will keep importing. So it will only create people I best describe as speculative investors. And what such people do is they will just be calling their friends overseas who will ship these refined products to them. And even if they will just be making a profit of one Naira, in 100 million liters, they will make 100 million Naira gain. That has been what has been happening. That deregulation will never work. And let me explain to you in a layman's term how the principle of deregulation. Today in Nigeria, bottled water is deregulated, and that simply means you can enter a particular hotel and buy a bottle of water 1,000 Naira or 2,000. That same bottled water, you can buy it on the street at 50 Naira or 100 Naira. That is what deregulation is all about. But do you know why Nigerians are not complaining because bottled water has been deregulated? The reasons are very simple. They have alternatives. They can get water from the borehole. They can get water from the street.
In the case of these refineries, we spend so much money on turnaround maintenance of these refineries in the past. We didn't get any positive results. Those refineries have not.
The answer is the answer is very simple. I even had some people saying the refineries are too old. I had some people saying we should go to the LNG models. All these are not correct. The refineries in Nigeria are not too old. I can give you the names of refineries that are more than 100 years old and they are still productive. The only thing that is happening is we have an index called corruption. And unfortunately, this is what I will tell you about corruption. Corruption is just an attitude, just like alcoholism, just like prostitution, just like armed robbery or yahoo. So if you want to stop yahoo or alcoholism or prostitution, you can stop it. Corruption is not a global principle or concept like the principle of gravity that you cannot go against. So it's just a bad attitude. If you go into the same refineries or their locations and you put people from Asian refineries or from Saudi Arabian refineries. The only things you have changed is the culture and the attitude of the human beings. So, and if you say we should do away with them because they need to be scrapped, those who will buy them, will they be using them for processing
and
water?
They are still going to, and
will they use those?
They are still going to employ Nigerians to run the refineries.
So it tells you that the difference is just in the culture. It's just the attitude that will change. And as I speak to you, I know many Nigerians that are working in Asian refineries and even with Saudi Arabia and Saudi Aramco and the rest. So it's just the culture. So, and that culture or that index, which I just said is an attitude, is what we need to move away from. And that culture or attitude is the attitude of corruption. And this is the way to get rid of corruption. If we want to start recruiting the right people, right? Make sure people do not cut corners. But all I can tell you is the human beings that will change. Had it been you are telling me that if we scrap those refineries, those who will buy them will start using them to produce ogogoro or produce something, then I will understand. But as long as they will use them to, again, process crude oil and produce distillates, then that means it is possible and it can be done.
Because, you know, it's really worrisome that for several years we've spent so much money, not just on the Port Harcourt Refinery alone, we've spent so much on the other refineries as well. And they're just not serving us at all. And so if handing them over or if selling them off to private individuals will make these refineries work and make them to produce refined petrol that will serve the people of this country, wouldn't it make better sense to, you know, lift off this burden, lift the burden off the government, hand it over to probably the private sector, definitely, so that they can get the refinery to be running. In the past, I mean, the President Obasanjo under his regime actually privatizes refineries, but then the government that came in after him decided to reverse the sale of the refineries. And even when the sale of the refineries was reversed, they're still not working. So what's the guarantee now? What's the guarantee now that after spending this $1.5 billion that the Port Harcourt Refinery would work? Of course, the government has said, well, that part of the condition given to it by Afrexim Bank is that there will be a company that will maintain and operate it. But even at that, are we confident that after this round of spending, things will change?
The answer is very simple, sir. I faulted, with due respect, I faulted the plans by Obasanjo then to sell off the refineries. What I can simply tell you is this. If the refineries will work in Saudi Arabia, state-owned refineries will work in Asia, in China, in Norway, in Iraq and Iran, and they cannot work in Nigeria. The simple question you will ask is, does it mean Nigerians are more intelligent than those people in those countries? And if those people found out that processing is the best way to create aggregate economic mobility in their own country, then, and Nigerians don't want to do that, are we saying those countries who are even OPEC members that are refining are fools? Another thing again you need to get very clear is this. In a country that is like Nigeria, you just need to understand Nigeria is a very poor country. Nigeria is an importing nation. And somehow, somewhere, unfortunately for Nigeria, the monetary policy and fiscal policies have not been helping the Naira. The Naira is continuously getting devaluated or depreciated. And that simply means if we rely on offshore refineries, Nigeria's economy will grind to a halt. And then when you talk about the private individuals, this is the only thing I can say. If these private individuals really mean well for Nigeria, why can't they build their own refineries? Why must they buy the refineries that are Nigerian owned? Come back.
Dangote is building his own.
Why must they? Yeah, Dangote's initiative is great. I mean, you don't need to. Why will they be trying to bullhead Nigeria or the Nigerian citizen to sell the Nigerian refineries before they can help? If truly they mean well, why can't they on their own, come up with their own. Why will they, and if they have the initiative to help the Marabang refineries of Nigeria to work, why can't they profile those suggestions and solutions? Why are they insisting that it must be sold to them? And if that is done, believe me, we will take Nigeria into a journey of eternal economic slavery. Because what is happening is this: when you go to other countries, the government is planning and planting the seed of growth and development. But in the case of Nigeria, we want to allow ourselves to plant the seed of hatred, hostilities, insecurity, and eternal slavery. It mustn't be allowed.
So for you, the refineries should be rehabilitated. They should not be sold. They should not be privatized. I only just hope that things will change after this round of fund injection.
The only thing we need to do, like I told you, the difference is just in the human beings. If you bring Asians and you put in those same refineries, the refineries will start working, the accounting system will work, and everything will work.
For us as a people. If us as a people cannot run our own thing and run them efficiently, then it says a lot about us. And it's quite a disgrace, isn't it?
Yes, and that is why and it's still corruption, because if you promote the wrong people, that is corruption. If you recruit the wrong people, that is corruption. If your procurement processes are wrong, that is corruption. So it's as simple as that. It's the human beings and it's the culture. But like I said, corruption is an attitude, just like prostitution, armed robbery, and alcoholism. If you want to stamp it out, you can stamp it out. I want to also add another point. People say we should go to the model of LNG. LNG model is completely different. The product called LNG is different from petrol. In the case of petrol, you find it in virtually every household. And you're talking about something that affects the fabric of the economy. We should be very careful and not to hand ourselves into economic slavery. Because when you even go to our supermarkets, virtually everything is imported. Very soon as Nigerians, if we try to ask why those prices are rising, the producers will tell us that if our country can produce some of those goods in those supermarkets, we should do that. And very soon, if the price of crude oil keeps rising and distillates keep rising because our naira is getting depreciated and devalued, if we complain, those people in offshore refineries can tell us to our face and say, you bloody Nigerians, if you are complaining, why not fix your refineries internally? If Saudi Arabia can do it, Nigeria can do it. If Norway can do it, Nigeria can do it. If Brazil can do it, Nigeria can do it. If China, Iran, Iraq, Libya, and the rest can do it, Nigeria can do it.
I believe you absolutely. I see no reason why we can't do it. I see no reason why we shouldn't do it. And I see no reason why we will be incapacitated. So if these guys can do it, really, we should be able to do it. And, but we just hope the things will turn around for the better. Mr. Bala Zakat, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, and God bless our country, Nigeria.
God bless our country, indeed. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing something else.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On Deji360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
Deji360, dissecting the issues.